The sleek silver ships from Viridia cut through Earth's atmosphere with an elegance I had never seen before. Hovering silently above the university, they reflected the sunlight like giant, polished mirrors. Below, on the sprawling lawns of Earth's most prestigious university, humans gathered in throngs, their faces painted with awe and excitement. The university's Gothic spires and modern glass buildings created a striking contrast to the futuristic alien ships descending gracefully onto the campus. I stood among the human students, feeling a mixture of curiosity and apprehension. As one of the few human volunteers selected to participate in this unprecedented cultural exchange program, I had no idea what to expect from our alien visitors. The air buzzed with chatter and speculation about what the Viridians would be like. Would they be friendly, cold, completely incomprehensible? The ships landed with a gentle thud, barely disturbing the grass. A ramp extended from the lead ship, and the first of the Viridians emerged. Tall, slender, and exuding an aura of calm, they moved with a precision that seemed almost mechanical. Their eyes, large and dark, scanned the crowd with analytical interest. I watched as the Viridians descended the ramp in a single file, each one a mirror image of the next. Their attire was sleek and minimalistic, emphasizing function over form. Among them was Nova, a highly intelligent and analytical student who would later become the focal point of my fascination. Nova's demeanor was calm, almost detached, as she took in her new surroundings with keen interest. "Welcome to Earth," the university chancellor's voice boomed over the speakers. "We are honored to host the first interplanetary cultural exchange program. Together, we will explore new horizons of knowledge and understanding." In the grand hall, the atmosphere was electric. Human and alien students filled the massive space, the walls adorned with banners symbolizing unity and cooperation. The chancellor stood at the podium, flanked by representatives from both species. "Today marks the beginning of a new era," the chancellor continued. "We have much to learn from each other. Let this exchange be a testament to our commitment to peace and mutual growth." Nova sat in the front row, her posture impeccable, her eyes fixed on the chancellor. I couldn't help but notice the way she seemed to absorb every word, her curiosity palpable. The presentation showcased the university's diverse and vibrant cultural environment, highlighting everything from groundbreaking scientific research to avant-garde art exhibitions. Humans express their creativity through various forms of art, the chancellor explained, showing slides of paintings, sculptures, and performances. "Art is a reflection of our emotions, our history, our very essence." Nova's eyes narrowed slightly, a subtle indication of her interest. As an artist myself, I felt a pang of excitement. How would an alien perceive our art? Could they appreciate the raw, often chaotic emotions that fueled our creativity? After the orientation, Nova approached the chancellor with a few pointed questions about human art. Her voice was melodic, yet devoid of inflection, as if she were discussing a complex mathematical equation rather than the soul of a species. "Emotions," she repeated, as if testing the word on her tongue. "And these emotions are what drive your artistic expressions?" "Indeed," the chancellor replied, smiling warmly. "Our art is an extension of our emotions." Nova nodded thoughtfully, her analytical mind already at work dissecting this new concept. The following day, Nova attended her first art class. I was there too, eager to see her reaction to our form of creative expression. Mia, our passionate and vibrant art instructor, welcomed the class with her usual enthusiasm. "Art is not just about technique," Mia said, her eyes sparkling. "It's about pouring your heart and soul onto the canvas. It's about vulnerability and honesty." Nova watched intently as Mia unveiled her latest piece, a vivid, chaotic explosion of color and texture. The painting was a visual representation of Mia's personal journey, filled with raw emotion and deep, personal stories. "Every brushstroke," Mia explained, "is a reflection of my emotions." Nova's expression was inscrutable as she studied the painting. I could see the gears turning in her mind, struggling to comprehend the depth of feeling conveyed in the artwork. It was a stark contrast to the logical, structured world she came from. Throughout the class, Nova remained focused, asking Mia questions that seemed to dissect the very essence of human creativity. Mia, ever patient and enthusiastic, did her best to explain the intangible nature of emotions. As the days passed, Nova and the other alien students immersed themselves in university life. They attended various classes, participated in social activities, and explored the campus. Nova's curiosity about human emotions grew with each passing day. She began to observe the interactions around her with a keen, almost clinical interest. One afternoon, I found Nova in the campus gardens, sketching. Her drawings were precise and detailed, yet there was a newfound fluidity to her lines, a subtle shift that hinted at her evolving understanding of human creativity. "Nova," I called out, approaching her, "your sketches are incredible. There's a certain energy to them." She looked up, her dark eyes meeting mine. "Thank you. I've been trying to understand the emotional aspect of your art." I smiled. "It's not something you can learn from a book. It's something you feel." Nova nodded slowly. "Mia has been helping me. Her explanations are enlightening." As Nova delved deeper into her exploration of human emotions, Zeph, another alien student, grew increasingly frustrated. Unlike Nova, Zeph found the unpredictable nature of human behavior unsettling. He withdrew from interactions, preferring the company of his own kind and voicing his disdain for human society. One evening, I overheard Zeph in a heated discussion with another alien student. "Humans are irrational," Zeph argued. "Their emotions make them unpredictable and dangerous." Nova, who was nearby, turned to face Zeph. "Emotions are not inherently dangerous," she countered. "They are a part of what makes humans unique." Zeph scoffed. "Unique, perhaps, but they are also a liability." Nova remained calm, her analytical mind seeking to understand Zeph's perspective. "Perhaps, but there is value in understanding their complexity. It broadens our own horizons." Zeph shook his head, unwilling to concede. "You're being influenced by them. Don't forget where you come from, Nova." As Zeph stormed off, I could see the conflict in Nova's eyes. She was caught between two worlds, her logical, structured upbringing and the chaotic, emotive nature of humanity. The tension between these opposing forces was palpable, and I knew it was only a matter of time before it came to a head. In the days that followed, Nova's fascination with human emotions only grew. She continued to explore campus life, attending various events and engaging with both human and alien students. Each interaction, each new experience, added another layer to her understanding. One night, Nova and I attended a student-led poetry reading. The room was dimly lit, the air thick with anticipation. As each poet took the stage, sharing their deepest fears, hopes, and dreams, I watched Nova's reaction closely. Her eyes shimmered with a mixture of wonder and confusion. The raw honesty of the poetry seemed to resonate with her on a level she couldn't fully comprehend. It was a stark reminder of the vast differences and the potential for connection between our two species. As the night drew to a close, Nova turned to me. "These poems, they are a window into the human soul, aren't they?" I nodded. "Yes, they are. They're a way for us to share our innermost thoughts and feelings." Nova smiled, a small, hesitant smile that spoke volumes. "I think I'm beginning to understand." And with that, I knew that the journey Nova had embarked on was far from over. It was only the beginning of a deeper exploration of what it meant to be human, and what it meant to be Viridian in a world where emotions were both a strength and a vulnerability. Spending time with Nova became a routine that I eagerly anticipated. We wandered the campus, discovering various forms of human art and emotional expression. Mia's art classes had opened Nova's eyes, but our explorations expanded her horizons even further. One afternoon, I took Nova to a music hall where a small ensemble was rehearsing. Music, I explained as we found our seats. It's another powerful form of emotional expression. The musicians began to play, the notes weaving together in a symphony of sound. I watched Nova closely. Her eyes followed the movements of the conductor, then shifted to the musicians, absorbing every detail. The music swelled, and I could see the subtle changes in her expression, the way her body relaxed into the flow of the melody. After the performance, we lingered in the empty hall, the echoes of the music still hanging in the air. Nova turned to me, her eyes wide with curiosity. "The music, it stirs something within me," she said quietly. That's the beauty of it," I replied. "It can evoke emotions you didn't even know you had." Over the next few weeks, Mia and I introduced Nova to other forms of art. We attended dance performances, watched films, and explored galleries filled with sculptures and paintings. Each new experience brought a new layer of understanding for Nova. One evening, in Mia's studio, Nova picked up a paintbrush with a determined look on her face. "I want to try," she said, her voice steady. Mia smiled and handed her a blank canvas. "Go ahead. Just let your feelings guide you." Nova hesitated, then dipped the brush into a vibrant blue. She began to paint, her strokes tentative at first, then growing bolder as she lost herself in the process. I watched in awe as she poured herself onto the canvas, her emotions translating into a swirl of colors and shapes. When she finally stepped back, the painting was a chaotic yet beautiful representation of her inner turmoil and discovery. Nova looked at it, breathless, her eyes shining with a mixture of exhaustion and exhilaration. "It's different," she murmured. "It's incredible," Mia said, her voice filled with genuine admiration. "You captured something real." Nova's face softened, and for the first time I saw a hint of pride in her expression. While Nova blossomed, Zeph withdrew further into himself. He avoided human students, choosing instead to spend his time in the sterile confines of the alien quarters. His disdain for human emotions grew more palpable with each passing day. One afternoon, I found Zeph alone in the library, surrounded by datapads and holographic screens. His brow was furrowed, his jaw set in a tight line. "Zeph," I greeted him cautiously. "How are you holding up?" He glanced at me, his eyes cold. "I find this environment increasingly intolerable." "Why?" I asked, genuinely curious. "What bothers you so much about it?" He leaned back, folding his arms across his chest. "Human emotions are chaotic, unpredictable, and dangerous. They cloud judgment and lead to irrational behavior. Our society has thrived because we have moved beyond such primitive impulses." "Emotions aren't just about chaos," I countered. "They also bring depth and meaning to our lives. They inspire creativity, compassion, and resilience." Zeph scoffed. "Spoken like a true human. You don't see the danger because you're mired in it." The tension between us was thick, an invisible barrier that seemed insurmountable. I left the library with a heavy heart, knowing that Zeph's discontent was festering into something far more troubling. As Nova continued to explore her artistic side, she reached a significant breakthrough. She had been working tirelessly on a new piece, pouring her newfound understanding of emotions into every brushstroke. The day she unveiled it to Mia and me, I felt a surge of pride. The painting was a vivid explosion of color and emotion, capturing the essence of Nova's journey. It depicted a landscape that shifted and changed, reflecting the turmoil and beauty of her inner world. There was a fluidity to it, a sense of movement that drew the viewer in and held them captive. Mia stared at the painting, her eyes glistening with tears. "Nova, this is extraordinary." Nova looked at us, her expression a mix of hope and vulnerability. "Do you think others will understand it?" "They will," I assured her. "This is your story, and it's powerful." The university held an exhibition to showcase the works of both human and alien students. Nova's painting took center stage, drawing admiration and praise from everyone who saw it. Human and alien alike marveled at the depth of emotion and skill in her work. The recognition solidified Nova's belief in the value of emotions and creativity. She began to see herself not just as an observer, but as an active participant in the rich tapestry of human expression. But not everyone shared her enthusiasm. Zeph's discontent had reached a boiling point. He confronted Nova one evening, his eyes blazing with anger. "You've betrayed our culture," Zeph spat, his voice low and menacing. "You've allowed yourself to be corrupted by these humans." Nova stood her ground, her eyes steady. "I've learned from them, Zeph. I've grown. Emotions are not a weakness. They are a strength." Zeph's face twisted with disdain. "You've succumbed to their primitive impulses. You've forgotten who you are." "No, Zeph," Nova replied calmly. "I've discovered who I truly am, and emotions are a part of that." Their confrontation was a turning point. The tension between human and alien students escalated, fueled by Zeph's growing hostility. He began to rally other disillusioned alien students, spreading his belief that the cultural exchange was a threat to their society's values. As the weeks passed, the atmosphere on campus grew increasingly strained. Nova and I tried to bridge the gap, organizing discussions and activities to foster understanding. But Zeph's influence was strong, and his words sowed seeds of doubt and fear. One day, while walking through the campus gardens, Nova turned to me, her expression troubled. "I fear what Zeph might do," she admitted. "His anger is blinding him to the potential for growth." "We won't let him destroy what we've built," I said firmly. "We'll find a way to reach him, to show him the value in this exchange." But deep down, I knew that convincing Zeph would be no easy task. His disillusionment ran deep, and it threatened to unravel everything we had worked so hard to achieve. The university prepared for its annual cultural festival, a celebration of diversity and unity. It was an opportunity to showcase the best of both human and alien cultures, to highlight the strengths of our differences. But with Zeph's growing discontent, the event took on a new level of significance. It was a chance to either heal the rift or see it widen into an unbridgeable chasm. As we planned the festival, Nova threw herself into her work with renewed vigor. She created a series of artworks that captured the essence of our shared experiences, each piece a testament to the power of emotions and creativity. Her paintings told stories of hope, resilience, and connection. On the day of the festival, the campus was alive with color and activity. Booths lined the walkways, offering glimpses into the rich tapestry of human and alien cultures. Music filled the air, and the scent of various foods wafted through the crowd. Nova's exhibition was a focal point, drawing a steady stream of visitors. I watched as she interacted with both human and alien students, explaining the emotions and stories behind her work. Her passion and authenticity shone through, touching everyone she spoke to. But amidst the celebration, a sense of unease lingered. Zeph's absence was conspicuous, his shadow looming over the festivities. I couldn't shake the feeling that he was planning something, a final act of defiance against the cultural exchange. As the sun set and the festival lights flickered on, I found Nova standing alone by her paintings, her eyes scanning the crowd. "He's here, isn't he?" she asked quietly. I nodded. "I have a feeling he won't stay quiet for long." Nova took a deep breath, her resolve hardening. "We need to be ready. Whatever he plans, we won't let him destroy this." And so, as the night deepened and the festival reached its peak, we braced ourselves for the confrontation we knew was coming. The future of the cultural exchange and the fragile bonds we had forged hung in the balance. The campus festival shimmered under the evening lights, a vivid display of human and alien cultures blending together. Music filled the air, laughter and conversations mingling in a harmonious buzz. But amidst the celebration, a sense of unease gnawed at me. Zeph's absence felt ominous, like the calm before a storm. Nova stood beside her artwork, her eyes scanning the crowd. Her unease mirrored my own. We had worked too hard, come too far, to let Zeph's bitterness destroy what we'd built. As we moved through the festival, greeting visitors and sharing stories, I caught sight of Mia weaving through the crowd toward us. Her face was tense, her movements hurried. "Nova, we have a problem," Mia said, her voice low but urgent. "I overheard Zeph talking to some of the other alien students. He's planning something big." Nova's eyes narrowed. "What did you hear?" Mia glanced around, ensuring no one was eavesdropping. "He's going to use Viridian technology to project a fabricated image of human barbarism. He wants to show both species that this exchange is a mistake, that humans are too dangerous and unpredictable to trust." My heart pounded. "We need to stop him. Do you know where he is?" Mia nodded. "I saw him heading towards the main stage. He's probably setting up there." Without another word, we moved through the crowd, urgency driving our steps. The main stage was where the festival's highlight event would take place, a grand showcase of human and alien talents, symbolizing unity and mutual respect. If Zeph succeeded, it could undo everything. We reached the stage just as Zeph was about to activate his device. He stood at the control panel, a cold determination in his eyes. The device hummed with power, ready to unleash his deception. Zeph turned, his expression hardening. "You don't understand, Nova. This is for our own good." "Zeph, stop!" Nova called out, her voice cutting through the noise.